Yeah, that was a great atmosphere. Good to see in the Bay Area. Two teams competed pretty hard, dug ourselves a hole, turned the ball over first half a lot, going down 14. Credit to them. We thought they did a great job on us in our place. We thought we made the right adjustments, and they defended us well again. But we competed, had some opportunities, cut it to 7 there, and just weren't able to get the right stops and make enough baskets. And didn't make our enough free throws. Got to the foul line, but didn't make enough in a tight game, or trying to make it a tight game. So had tip to them, but just a league game that went their way.
All right, Coach. Since you guys had that 16-point lead against them and they took the lead right before halftime, they pretty much dominated all 3 halves since then. So how would you surmise that scenario?
Well, they only dominated 2. We won the last one. Just get the record straight. No, they got good play out of forwards. Bell and Camden really made some big shots. Made the free throws. We had a hard time guarding those guys. They spread you out. They're pretty unique. We know that going in. And Donovan Young for us, he'd had some back spasms, but no excuse there. We still we could have used some depth there, but I felt like they got to get back in the game. Our starters kind of had to do that. But like I said, the first half we turned it over I think 9 times, and gave up some threes, missed free throws too. So if you make your free throws, maybe you're down 9. Don't turn over 8. You're within reach. But it's a big effort to get back in it. We did. I think the first time, I think we're down 12 or something, tied it up, and they finished their last 2 minutes. They kind of put us away. So who knows? We might see them again. We got to play better.
Hi, Coach. As you know, Ibuka Okori is a game-changing player. Although he had scoring droughts such as in the last 15 minutes of the first half and also in the last 10 minutes of the second half, he did contribute in big ways in terms of having a season high of 13 rebounds and drawing 5 fouls. How monumental do you think these contributions were, and what adjustments did you make even though he wasn't getting as many points as usual?
I mean, he got 17, so I think that's pretty good. He was playing like a point guard. He was doing what it took to win. He was really competing, 13 rebounds, and I wish we had some other guys follow him there. He didn't play well the first time, and I think a lot of it had to do with their defense and Justin Pippen, who's a big guard, who's a good player too. So I know he doesn't talk about it at all, and he's been getting better as the season goes on. So I thought he played a really good floor game. I thought a couple times, it seems like I don't know if seems like he had a couple drives I thought earlier in the season would get rewarded with free throws. But overall, he was terrific, and to get 13 rebounds in a game like that is pretty amazing. And it's just hard to take him out. I'm going Randy Bennett style, just playing 40. Can't come out. Just stay in there. He'll figure it out. Get in shape.
Yeah, Hey, Coach, just talk about, Aiden Kamen, his performance tonight, 19 points, 6 boards. I think I asked you this earlier in the week, but just talk about kind of his continued growth and confidence in scoring the ball and getting going.
What? He's such a great human being if you get to know him, or anyone that knows him, and he's such a wonderful person. He's the big team guy, and sometimes to a fault, like he doesn't really want to ruffle any feathers, and just trying to push him to have more courage, to take more chances. Don't be afraid to fail, and I think you saw that tonight. He wasn't afraid. He was trying to make plays to help us win. Missed some free throws. It happens, but getting to the foul line that much is incredible. We needed it, and just happy to see guys like that. And I said, Benny's made such progress in the last 12 months, and him as well. It gives us something. He's been great. Like I said, we lost Chiz. We were looking for someone to step in there, and it's been Aiden. So I'm happy for him and happy for us, more importantly.
How difficult is it to defend a team that has 4 guys that can get 20 points in a game? There's not.
Yeah, no, I said they're unique and they're good, and that they're hard to guard. Reminds me of some other teams I've had in the past where it's just like put a lot of pressure on you, especially like in transition. You can't you can't make a mistake. You one mistake, they're pretty selfless too. They pass the ball well, and you miss a guy, and those are good shots for them. If you're not there, transition is really a problem. But I think their transition seemed to. I mean, I thought in the half court we did a pretty good job.
Hey, Coach, right here in the middle. A couple of questions. One, just talk about your freshman, Ibuka Okori. Obviously, 17 points, 13 rebounds, double-double, did everything that he could out there. Just talk about what his ceiling is and how impressed you've been with him throughout the season.
He's I knew he was pretty good. It took me a while to figure it out. About right at the beginning of the season, I've said this a few times, and usually with freshmen, you just want to worry about how they adjust academically and socially. Well, he's doing fine there, and so he's playing so well, and I said just have fun with it. I said just go at your own pace. Don't worry about each game. You're going to be ups and downs this thing, but you're just going to grow. And he's got a growth mindset. He's going to keep, like I said, I think his improvement. I wish we would have played better, but his individual play from this game versus the first time against Cal, obviously, I think he played a lot better. And I don't like to talk about ceilings with our team and players, but I mean he's going to be one of the best players I've coached already, and not just freshmen. So I don't know. I've coached some NBA guys, so don't want to put that much heat on him, but he's pretty talented.
I'm pretty sure that he'll accept that heat and play to it.
He does well with it.
And the second thing, just kind of take me through the last, I believe, 2 minutes it was, especially you had that controversial call or basket interference. Can you tell me, just kind of take me through those last 2 minutes, those back-to-back calls on the offensive end, then going back on the defensive end, and then the call on the offensive end? What did the ref tell you there?
I think it's by the rule. It's a silly rule. It needs to be fixed, I would imagine, because Aiden got fouled trying to dunk it, and he hung on the rim like you would, trying to protect himself. And if the ball goes in when you're hanging on the rim, it's no basket. So I thought that's obviously flawed in the sense that, like, he's trying to protect himself. The ball went in. I think it should be N1. So they're adamant that's the rule. I think they probably know the rules better than I do. I just didn't like the way they said it. It was like, that's what the rule. I'm like, do you realize how dumb this is? So he should have let go of the rim, landed on his head, and then we might get the N1. So something to be talked about. It doesn't happen very often, but that was a big play. Would have given us a chance to cut it to 7 with time enough to make some things happen. And, we did some good things in press there. You just don't – I hate practicing those situations because it means you're practicing being down a couple possessions last minute. But we made some plays, put some pressure on them. But in the end, they made enough. And we had it 5, right, when they got an offensive board, but it would have nice. I haven't seen it yet. I'm pretty sure they didn't officiate that rebound, which could have been a 94-foot foul and would have been a chance to cut it to 3. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it was a nice little shove in the back. But those things happen. He went 1 for 2, and it was a 6-point game, and I don't think we scored it. We didn't make a basket there, but it could have been interesting if they was diligent on the rules. The rules is that they were all over, man. The offensive goaltender, no basket. No. My guy could have got hit on the head. He got fouled. The ball went in. So they were on it. Those guys had it. They know that rule. Bam, they got it.
Kyle, you've been through St. Mary's Gonzaga. You've been through Washington State. You've been through USF Santa Clara. Now that you've been through 5 of these, what's your perspective on it compared to the others?
It's a grander scale, which is cool, to be honest, and a little bit why. And I loved my time spent in the WCC, but I had 20 years was enough of the Gonzaga experience and that stuff. And the St. Mary's is like, but just this Power 4 conference is pretty cool. And honestly, I was thinking about today, and like the break of the Pac-12, which was just a travesty, and the only programs that are somewhat surviving is Arizona. Or not, and I think Cal and Stanford are a little bit on the uptake. I think ACC has been really good for our brand and our basketball. I think Mark, and it's a funky rivalry because Mark's a Card, man. He's a Cardinal, man. So it's like, and it's too polite, probably, to be honest. So, and then that's what I'm getting. Like, I know it's a big game and all that stuff, and in all respect, and he's just, and you guys know, he's a class act, and Mr. Enthusiasm. So, you know, it's funky that way. But I do think like that's what's cool, like in the Bay Area. And just when I was coaching the WCC, we'd have a night game. I used to watch all the Pac-12 games during the day, and to be a part of that is pretty cool. And the Stanford Cal game, even cool. I mean, it goes back to when it was Jason Kidd versus Brevin Knight. They played against each other. Right? I'm not getting sold that I'm making that up. I think I was right. In Nashville, so like being a part of that to me is like I said, I'm blessed to have this opportunity, and didn't really have it on my bingo card. Really did want to be a high school coach, and maybe someday. Yeah, no.
Super good question, Coach. You guys ended the game with 10 turnovers, but like a large majority of them came in the first half. So what was that message at halftime that led to the guys taking care of the ball a lot more?
It was a big part of going into the game, so I was pretty disappointed that we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. They made some plays, but we just we didn't handle. It's not like their defense. We work on it. We had a week to prepare, and just unfortunate they don't change much. They're good at what they do. But second half we did a good job and gave us a chance. You know, we still had to get better. We got to make shots, but at least we got shots, and we make enough free throws. We could have been a little tighter.
Yeah, just quick on Gilte. Only played 5 minutes. Is he okay, or was that just yeah?
Just you know what, AJ was playing really well, and Aiden, and you know, AJ I think was +6 in his 30 minutes. I just felt like he was fighting out there, and nothing Oscar did, but we couldn't get baskets, and I just felt like AJ was putting a little more pressure at the rim, and we'll get him back. You know, he's a freshman, and he's got a great attitude, and he'll bounce back. We need him. We got a lot of games left.
I'm the last one? Okay. All right, Coach. How was your Super Bowl experience?
It was surreal. I mean, it's just, like I said, it was unfortunate I didn't have a team to root for in the game. Sorry, not a fan of either program, but I was rooting for Sam Darnold. But it was pretty cool, man. That's a big-time event, and like I said, I checked that bucket list. Got to see Big Benny, Bad Bunny, the whole bit. So I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right.